Welcome back to L&D Design. My name is Lene. L&D Design is also part my husband David, who is at work today. So I wanted to give you guys a kitchen update. Over the summer, we did some things to our kitchen and we posted a video about it. And I actually had someone comment saying, hey, how are those countertops and sink and stuff holding up? So I wanted to give you that update, but I'm also just going to show you how we decorated our kitchen for Christmas. We will have some more videos coming about other areas of the house. I'm sorry I haven't done a video in like forever. Teacher life, it's been a struggle. But this video is going to be a little bit of our Christmas kitchen decor, and then we will have some updates on how everything else is holding up. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Updates now that we've seen some of the Christmas decor. I want to start first with the island. It's holding up okay. It has seen better days, quite a few marks and scratches and craziness going on. I think we need to do a thicker coat of polyacrylic. My husband, he being my husband, did spray polyacrylic because he wanted a nice even coat. And I just don't know that the coat was thick enough. It scratches very easily, and when I clean it using just kind of the normal cleaner I use all over the house, it does tend to kind of, I don't know if it's taking the stain off, but you can see some areas are lighter than other areas. So we may need to do a light sand on this, do another coat of stain, and then maybe a thicker coat of polyacrylic. But considering all of the wear and tear this island goes through, I mean, cookie baking, dinner making, present wrapping, sometimes school related things, like it goes through a lot. It's actually holding up pretty well. Let's switch over to the counters. So the countertops are actually holding up really well, but I do want to say something about them. So you will see it's holding up pretty nicely. The one thing I will say is you need a lot of time for these countertops to cure. The can lies, the website lies. So the can said, I think it was like 72 hours or something to cure. And after that time, we just noticed that doesn't seem to be enough. So my husband looked it up on the website. I believe it was Rustoleum countertop paint that we used. And it says 7 days. And we were really disappointed because we were like, 7 days, we just want our kitchen back. But we let it cure for the full 7 days. And then we set everything back on top. And there's what happened. There are several spots in the countertop where it has made crazy indents. I mean, this is deep, y'all. 7 days was not enough. So I don't necessarily not recommend the countertop paint. It could be because we did such thick coats because we were trying to get that texture and everything. So it could have just been us. So it's not that I don't recommend the countertop paint. I think it's pretty decent countertop paint. But I will say, if you're thinking about using it, maybe do lighter coats, or really think about, do you have the time to let it cure? I mean, I would even say like 2 weeks, because we have several spots like that one where we set things. Now, this is a pretty heavy item, but even some items like even this little jar right here made an indent. Even really light items have made indents in the countertop. So I have to make sure that when I place things decor wise, I'm placing them to cover up those indents. And that's just been very frustrating. So I recommend the countertop paint for sure because it's holding up now. But I just wanted to say that because I think that's a big deal. If you're a person that's very minimal and doesn't like a lot of stuff on your counters, let it cure for way longer than the website says, and especially way longer than the can says. Let's switch over to the cabinets now. The cabinets are actually holding up very nicely. I do recommend this cabinet paint. I will say there are spots where maybe I didn't do so well when I painted them. I was getting very tired. And there are some spots where you can see nicks, especially here. There's a lot of marks here. This is the spot that's in front of the sink, so it gets a lot of wear and tear. My ring hits it. My husband's belt rubs against it. So that's just really just kind of, I would say, natural wear and tear because that area gets used so much. But overall, the cabinet paint is holding up really, really well. It still looks really nice, super easy to wipe off and clean. So I do recommend the cabinet paint that we used, and that will be linked down below. Let's talk sink, shall we? Welcome to our sink. Obviously, this is not holding up well. It actually held up well for quite a long time. And I actually had a viewer that commented and said, hey, how is everything holding up? And I was like, well, the sink has some marks. We had some marks like here, and some scrapes here from when we lay pans and things across to clean them. And then a few days later, we started seeing marks like this, which turned into this. I mean, it's literally just coming off, like just straight coming off. Don't worry, we're going to peel all of this off eventually anyway. Don't love the sink paint. Now, I don't know if it's because it's stainless steel, but I will say my husband worked vigorously to sand this thing like crazy to make sure that it had a good surface to adhere to. It could be hot boiling water. It could be the cleaner that I use, Mrs. Meyer. I use it all over the house. I mean, even on like wood items and things like that, and it never does anything crazy to any of my surfaces. But I will say I did notice about a month ago that some of the shininess had started to go away in certain spots. And if you look at the sink, you may be thinking you really need to clean better. That's stained. I can't get it out at all. I don't know if it's my coffee or what it is, but I noticed that some spots started looking really, really dull, and then they started staining. And then about a week ago, this started happening. So I don't know if I can recommend the paint for the sink. Now, after these chips started happening, my husband did look it up, and it said it works on stainless steel, but I'm not super convinced. So I will leave that up to you guys. We are going to eventually chip all of this off. We're going to sand it with an even harder grit. Really, really like get in there as much as we can, and we're going to repaint it. So we'll see when we get to that, how that holds up. But as of right now, obviously, this is not doing well. And apparently it won't be super hard to chip off. I mean, it should only take us about 5 seconds, right? Because it's just like completely coming off everywhere. It's just a mess. So that's how the sink's holding up. Last update, faucet. Now, I don't know if we let you guys know, but we were painting the faucet with this. It turned out really well, except for there was a piece that had broken. We couldn't find a replacement piece to save our lives. Like Amazon, anywhere, it was completely just out of commission. So we ended up having to buy a new faucet, which was not in our budget at all, but we didn't have a faucet that would work, and you need a faucet in your kitchen. So we ended up buying this one from Lowe's, and I really like this. I highly recommend this faucet. It has 3 settings. So if you turn this knob here, you just kind of turn it. It has a regular flow. And then if you turn it one way, it's kind of like a light spray. Trying to do this one-handed. And then if you turn it all the way the other way, it's a little bit heavier of a spray. So I really, really love this faucet. It's really beautiful, but it's also super functional. I like having the 3 different settings. I will say that you want to be careful when you turn this, because if you turn it like too hard, you will actually start unscrewing this. And you feel when that happens. Also, make sure you hear the click. There's a very like tiny little click that you hear when it's all the way into its setting. And if you don't do that, the water doesn't run correctly. And I'm not sure if it'll mess up the faucet or not, but you want to make sure you hear that click, that you're all the way into the setting. So I will kind of give that tip, because I wasn't doing that at first. And my husband's like, did you listen for the click? And I'm like, what click? But the faucet is fabulous. Highly recommend the faucet. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I know it was a short one, but I did want to give an update because I had someone ask, and I need to update you guys on that crazy sink, right? We will try to have some more videos coming out. It has been nuts, teacher life. The people I live with don't even see me half the time, so it's been crazy trying to get videos to you guys. I'm so sorry about that, but I hope that you do like this video. Any questions in the comments, leave them down below. I will have the countertop paint, the sink paint, and the cabinet paint all listed down below. But if you have any questions about any of the decor items or anything about any of those paints, please let me know. My dog is losing her mind because the neighbor is outside doing leaves. I mean, guess that means we need to wrap this right on up, huh? So thank you so much for watching. Look for future videos, and I hope you guys stick around.